During the intense fight for Baghdad in 2003, United States Marines survived the fierce battle for reasons that some of them have difficulty explaining.
There is absolutely no doubt that someone was watching us. We should not have survived that fight like we did.
They experience inexplicable events, things that should not have happened, but did.
You get hit through the head with a 7.62 round, you're dead. He's not dead.
Amazing phenomenon that the Marines themselves describe as miracles.
I don't know what it was, I don't know where they came from, and I don't know where they went afterwards. All I know is they saved us that day.
Ho, VNO, what you know, man? Man, I have a very special guest today, man. I've been trying to get this guy since I started. And I'm just happy that he finally said yes. September 11th, 2001, all of our lives changed. Uh, America was under attack, and however divided we might seem today, everybody, white, black, yellow, and brown, decided that we were going to come together, and whoever did this to us, we're going to get you back. We didn't know how at the time. We didn't know where. We didn't know when. We did not know who, but we are going to get you back. We lost loved ones. Like I said, our lives changed. Our lives changed. Everybody in America was touched. Uh, and we were going to get them back, whoever did this to us. As with any bet that you make, some type of collateral has to be put up. And it was some guys, it was young men and young women all across America that decided that they wanted to be that collateral. They made the choice that they wanted to fight, and whoever did this to us, they were going to get them back for us. Uh, when they went over to Iraq, some knew that they might not make it back. Uh, all gave some, and some of them gave it all, man. Some of them did not come back. Uh, I have one of the some here with me today. This is my guy, man. It's my buddy. This dude got a heart of gold, but he will knock your head off. He will. I'm a little scared. I'm a little bit scared of him. I'm not gonna lie. From when I met him, man, he had this look in his eye. But man, when I tell you that the amount of respect and honor that I have for him, uh, he don't have to worry about anybody saying a bad word about him when I'm around because I got his back. I'm standing up for him. I don't care because I have that much respect for this man. And man, does he have an amazing story. If you caught the clip that was just played, that's his story. Uh, United States Marine Corps 1-5 were some of the first, they were, not some, they were the first boots on the ground for Operation Iraqi Freedom. 18, 19, 20-year olds. Man, it's I like to put myself in other people's places, and I imagine that the bravery, man, it had to be a scary thing. You did not know what you were walking into. And man, when I tell you I got mad respect for this guy, and I'll just want to sit back and hear his story. I'm done talking after this. Once I'm just asking questions tonight, man, because I've heard bits and pieces, and I've studied. I did some studying for this show, and I just cannot wait to hear the whole story. VNO, man, we are ordinary people with extraordinary stories, and I got one here for you tonight. Y'all stay tuned.
Why not post what clip? You talking about?
I'd like to welcome y'all to the fabulous Carolina West. I own it.
That one? Oh man, I posted that one, man, because that's who I am, man. People want to know the real, man. I'm stupid. do things like act like I'm talking on the phone when I'm really not.
Mic check 1 2, it's the vibe you're missing. Views and opinions, tune in, pay attention. Heavy bass drops, heartbeats, ignition. Spit raw truths, no cap, no permission. Views and opinions where the real meets the talk. We grind in the trenches, then stroll on the walk. Bounce to the rhythm, let the wisdom unlock. Podcast via TikTok non-stop. Truth be the green, we plant in the crop. Water with facts, no fake, we won't stop. Echoes rumble deep underground from the top. Blueprint conversations, call it Thoughts Workshop.
Jimmy Welter. What's up, man?
man?
Thank you, man, bro. I'm so happy to have you, man.
Happy to be here.
Again, man, I know some of your story. We were in apprenticeship school together. We've been knowing each other for 20 years now.
Yeah.
20 years now, man. I broke in with your uncles and I realized that your whole family is crazy.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. True story.
Bro, true story.
True story.
True story. I thought it was just those two.
No.
And I said, oh, no.
Equal.
No. And then I met you and Joe, and I was like, oh, this is like a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. We're special. That's for sure.
Oh man, I'm so happy, man. We got people checking in already, man. Thank you guys for your service, man. I know a bunch of Marines are gonna be checking in to see this guy because he's so special. Will Simplify, man. I don't know what this means, but it says MVMC.
That's Marine Vets Motorcycle.
Oh, okay. Let me throw him up there. Thank you, Will, for checking in, man. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your service. Bro, take me from the beginning, man. In the beginning, I say, because I talked to you a little bit, I asked you a couple questions before the show, because there's some things that I don't know. I didn't know if you might have signed up for the Marines or you were already a Marine or in boot camp when 9/11 happened. No, you were one of the crazy ones,
Yeah.
one of the brave ones, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
9/11 happened, man. What's going through your head?
9/11, actually, funny story. I actually didn't have a license at the time, and I borrowed my dad's car to go to Mount Carmel High School to get my transcripts because I was going to be an ironworker
Okay.
before. So
Okay.
I needed my transcripts. My dad kept getting on me, get a job, get a job, get a job. You know?
Yeah.
So I was going to do the ironworker thing, start early,
Yeah.
get my transcripts. So I stole his car I didn't know I had. And then I was literally in my journalism room where I used to have talking to a teacher. And they're all watching TV. I walk in, I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see frickin' the second plane go into the World Trade Center.
So you were still in high school.
No, I was 1 year removed. I had to go back and get my
you had to go back.
Yeah, I had to go back and get 'em.
Okay. Okay.
So a year later, about after I went back and got him and watched that second plane go in, and right there, I left from there and drove to the recruiter's office and signed up for the Marine Corps
Wow.
on that day.
Wow. Did you think twice? Did you think what you were walking into? Did you know?
I knew it was gonna be blood or war of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted my ounce of blood per se for what they did to us
Yeah.
as a country. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of guys that joined around my time too, I feel. So
Yeah, man. It was like my next door neighbor, man. He's a Marine and he just retired. So he stayed in. He was military intelligence, I think, for the most part, for his whole career. And yeah, man, he did the same thing. And I had signed up in high school and I had asthma, and my recruiter told me to and I started having asthma attacks, and I said and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to go, man. And I don't know, man. Am I that brave? I'm sure, man. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know if I was that brave, but I know that you are. You sign up, you go to did you go to Paris Island or did you go to
Camp Pendleton, California, Hollywood.
you went
West
to San
Coast.
Diego?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck that East Coast.
So you go to San Diego. Was it everything that you dreamed of?
No, it was hell. It was California's first glimpse of hell, you know, every day, you know, got off a bus, you know, that was right next to the airport.
Yeah.
And they put you on a bus right next to and Camp MCRD is basically, once you get to MCRD, you can see the airport. Man, they drove us around with our heads down for about 20 minutes, man. We thought we were like 18 miles away and all that. Next thing you know, I could see the planes that we just freaking left take off and go back home. And you're like,
Wow.
"Damn, yeah, goodbye."
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I,
charming people.
I imagine, man, that of course you only went through one boot camp, but I imagine, man, that like boot camp during wartime or in preparation for war has to be a little bit different because I'm not saying Marine boot camp was soft before, but man, you guys were going to war. They didn't take it easy on you.
Yeah, they reminded us every day
Yeah.
that we were gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, and have to do our jobs. It's basically freaking you're going to the big show for us. You know, it's like you better train, you better pay attention to everything because this is for real. This isn't. You're not gonna go visit nice lands. You're not
Yeah.
gonna go see all these nice ports. You're not doing any of that shit.
Right. Ain't no GI Bill. You're not coming here to go to college.
Right,
You're here to fight.
right.
Yeah.
You're fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a lot of guys, man. All the love, bro. I don't want to interrupt the story, but man, it's a lot of love coming through. Fellas, I appreciate you, man. And I know he does too, man. Man, a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys. uh, so you go through boot camp. What's your first step after, or did you know? You said you wanted to be infantry, or did you get to pick, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like when you're active, you go O3 open. So like I knew I was gonna be infantry. I just didn't know if I was gonna be a rifleman, machine gunner, mortarman,
Yeah.
or anything like that until you go to SOI. So you're guaranteed infantry. You just don't know what's your designation yet.
Was there fear at the time?
You know what? It still wasn't real
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
When you're even training on it,
Mhm.
you're training to go. You're you know, it's like it's basically the equivalent of playing football, but it's no contact.
Yeah.
You know, like you're
Yeah.
not getting a feel for the game. I
Yeah.
mean, you're training, but at the end of the day, lessons learned down. You don't know shit until you get into it.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, so
Exactly. So, what's your first step after boot camp?
go to School of Infantry,
Okay.
which was also in Camp Pendleton, a little further north. You go there for about 3 months and learn your individual, and that's when I picked up the designation of 0311 rifleman, just
Okay.
pick rifleman. So
Okay. Now as a rifleman, because I know I got some pictures, man. I know you had that grenade launcher.
okay,
There you go.
okay,
There you go. Hold on, let me get.
good old,
Yeah, buddy.
right.
That was it. We're gonna see the real thing. I got a couple shots of you. Uh, so you trained on that. You were proficient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was 0311s are basically assigned into 3 squads, and everybody else is an attachment to us. Basically, machine gunners are in tow with us unless they're in weapons company. We have all the things, but it's a team of 4 actual riflemen that complete the missions for a platoon in the
Okay.
line platoon. So
Okay. So you went through. So what boot camp is what? How many months or weeks?
3 months.
3 months. So and then
Yeah.
3 months. So you talking 6 months. Now you ready. What's your next step?
Every time you think you're a Marine, when you take a step, you're to get out of boot camp. You're like, I'm a Marine, and then you get to SOI, and they're like, you ain't shit. And then you go through SOI, and you're like, yeah, I'm a rifleman, I'm a Marine, and then you get to the fleet, and guess what? You ain't shit. You know, so it's a lot of finding out you ain't shit.
Yeah, right. So SOI was the next step, and what is that?
That's School of Infantry. That's where you learn.
Oh,
to
School
be
of Infantry.
yeah.
Okay, and then what was your?
And then the fleet, and then
And
I
then the
got the
fleet.
1-5 Alpha Company, and
And when did you find out, man, that y'all were it, man? You guys were going to be the first ones.
so I went in boot camp in 2002. I went through all that. I basically got into my unit in like November. I was there for like a month. We went on Christmas leave. We came back from Christmas leave like in January, and they're like, "You're going to Iraq." So that's when everything geared up and started to become real. We started to do a little more different training for those scenarios that
Yeah.
were out there and all that, and then just amped up training until in preparation to leave, and then it was ship over to Kuwait.
And before we start talking about that, man, how did your family feel? How did I mean, mom and dad, and you got a sister,
Yeah, they
Joe?
yeah,
Yeah.
they were concerned, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
as any parent would be. I mean, especially having kids of my own now. I
right.
think if any of them went there, I'd have a heart attack.
Yeah, right, right. And they probably didn't put it on you, man. Like you said, you only know the feeling because you have kids now.
But
But I'm sure they didn't tell you the fullness of the concern that they had for you, and knowing that, hey man, this is my son. I might not see him again, bro. I could only imagine. I have kids.
right,
Knowing that it's a chance, man. I might not see my offspring again.
right,
That's got to be hard, man.
right.
You go. What's your feelings as because you guys didn't fly directly into Iraq, you
No, we flew into Kuwait,
into Kuwait.
and it was that was a weird experience because weirdly enough, we didn't fly on a military plane. We flew on a United with stewardess and everything. While we got rifles and shit on the plane, they're literally doing signs. You know how they do the windows, like in the back. They're like, "Put your rifle underneath." I'm like, They must have got trained for this. I don't think this is
No,
this ain't
no,
normal, but
no.
yeah, so yeah, they had to shut off the lights as we descended in Kuwait. They were telling us we could get RPG or Scudder going in. So they kind of put you on your toes as soon as we got close, and it became a little more real the closer you got.
I was gonna say that's when and did you feel a little bit of fear, or were you
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody that says they weren't scared of going out to war and possibly the thought of dying is full of shit.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they weren't ever in it or
yeah,
anything like that
yeah,
because yeah, you got fear. Your emotions are going all over. Every time you left the States, you're like, is this my last cheeseburger? Is this my last, or is this, you're kind of like on a death sentence in a way. But honestly, going into my first tour, a lot of those thoughts, it wasn't really real still,
yeah.
even until, a
When
little
did it
further.
become real?
On the day we crossed the line of departure, my lieutenant got killed right in front of me.
And that was your lieutenant, man. Looking online, and guys, anybody that's watching that's not privy to this, you can look this up and you can see that this was your lieutenant.
Yes, my
First casualty
very first person killed in ground combat during
in
the whole.
Operation Iraqi Freedom, and
Mhm.
and you knew him.
Oh,
I have a picture of him. I think I loaded up. I was trying to be very sensitive, man, because I didn't know like what. Uh,
yep,
that's him right there.
that's him.
Yeah. Uh, what did that feel like, man? What it?
It became real.
Yeah.
I mean, both ways. I mean, when he got shot, I mean, our mission was to take. I mean, we went over it for weeks and weeks. Take the Mala oil fields was our mission objective in southern Iraq. And I mean, I could still draw up the terrain model to this day and tell you where every gas oil separator was and tell you where every building. I mean, we trained that thing in and out.
Right.
And we went through, we hit a few snags once we went through the line and got into southern Iraq. We hit a few snags. We had one guy stepped on a landmine, blew off his toe. Gross. That was his name, Gross.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was gross, but it was
Yeah.
gross. But yeah, toe went off on a mine, and then we went through all these buildings, and they had to just leave. I mean, there was steam still coming off the coffee cups that were like at the tables and shit. Like they
Wow.
had to. So we got up, we went through the buildings, consolidated online, and so we're all online, securing the perimeter, and there's a bunch of refugees coming through, waving white flags, waving white flags. We're passing them by, come on through, you know. And then the four trucks waving a white flag, and they put down the flag, and it turns into an RPK machine gun. And they start blasting blindly, pop, 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 basically a drive-by,
Wow, man.
and that's when we returned fire, and freaking, you see the lieutenant laying on the ground, and all of us rage. I mean, these guys got out, and that was the first time I ever shot at anybody was that day.
Yeah.
Took out a bad guy in revenge. They all came out of the truck, tried to fire from us, and they got obliterated. But
Yeah.
in the wake, I mean, the lieutenant was down. Nobody knew his welfare being, could have been a leg, could have been
Right.
anything. But
Right.
as you saw the triage and the docs come up, you knew it was a little more serious, and
Yeah.
he pretty much died right there. So
Was this your first time?
yeah,
This is stay.
this was our first day crossing the line. This was my very first day in Iraq. Like my
Welcome.
oh shit,
Right. Welcome.
this is for real.
Yeah.
Hit real quick. So
Yeah.
and that is when everything became real, because I remember freaking the emptiness in my gut, the feeling of wanting to freaking puke, and we consolidated and we switched off security while we hammered everything out. And I remember I went up on that berm and it was my time off, and I fell asleep with my back to the berm, and I basically woke up, told myself I ain't gonna die in this shithole.
Man, that's
So,
it. Yeah. That's it. And how old were you, man?
19.
Bro, you look at 19-year-olds now.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Makes me want to choke the
Right.
truth, don't Yeah, but it's all right.
Yeah.
It's modern times. Go with
Yeah,
it.
man.
Go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you were, and you had to grow up, man. You
Yeah.
grew up in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
overnight.
overnight.
Become a man
Overnight.
overnight.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to, and I was 19 and I was still licking my wounds, crying about life, and you was over there, man, worried
Mhm.
about whether you were gonna live the next
Yeah.
day. And that's mad respect, man.
Yeah.
Mad respect. Did you guys know who was gonna take over, or do you already have it? Did you already have it in place like after he went?
I mean, yeah, at that point we were moving and we were ahead. All troops were inbound, so they made our platoon sergeant the commanding officer of our platoon. So
Yeah.
he was a staff sergeant. He was the highest ranking enlisted. So
Okay.
he was good for the job. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, you guys, the documentary that I showed when we first came in, what
Hmm.
was it called? Miracle.
Military miracle.
Military miracles.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was Chaplain Cash. He
yeah.
served with us. Good
Yeah.
guy. Hmm.
For let me, you know what? I got to check this message because a lot of times people think that, okay, no, okay, we're good. I just wanted to know, could everybody hear us fine? Because a lot of times you got technical difficulties. Okay. So, you, what was that all about, man? Because yeah, you had a casualty, but it probably should have been a lot more guys, man, that didn't
Well,
make it through that.
yeah, that was our very first day. That day that he's talking about
Yeah.
was April 10th, and that was in Baghdad when we went to take Baghdad during the invasion. There's a
Yeah.
lot of crazy shit,
Yeah.
just unbelievable, like things. Yeah, a lot of miracles, a lot of angels
Yeah.
were watching out for us for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
You were in that documentary, right?
parts of it running
Parts of it.
around,
Yeah.
no talking parts,
I
but
think I saw you, man, with the haircut. We got a little picture of you.
yeah, sweet man, oh man, yeah,
With the butt face, and then we got
oh yeah.
yeah, can you introduce us, man, to some of these guys,
Yeah, those
man?
are all dudes from my third tour. You got Alcosis kneeling down, I'm on the right, Fisher in the back, Meyer on the left with the channel locks for making entry into buildings, and then Miller leaning over. Yeah,
Okay.
those were all dudes from my third tour.
That's from the third tour.
Yeah.
That's you.
Oh yeah, that was when we were basically the cops of Ramadi patting down, getting bad intel. Freaking all over. One farmer wanted to fuck the other farmer
Oh
over,
gosh.
so he would be like, "They're bad guys," and
Yeah.
we're like, we'd go and wake them up at 2 in the morning. Yeah, they didn't like us very much,
No,
so for
yeah,
that
I bet.
reason.
Yeah.
But they didn't utilize us in the wrong way.
Right, right. Uh, this is you. I'm showing most of the pictures
Yeah,
now.
that's the invasion.
That's
That's
the
yeah. That was probably about 2 weeks in right there. You see the green suits we're on in the desert.
yeah.
Those were gas suit. They're called MOP suits.
Uh-huh.
They're to stop from like nerve attacks, which we thought the Iraqis were going to use heavily. So we trained a lot for chemical warfare. We thought they
Yeah.
were going to drop like mustard gas or
Really?
sarin gas,
Yeah.
all that other stuff. So that whole time, on top of being in the desert where it's hot as can be, those are giant charcoal lined suits.
You serious?
Yeah, on top of it, man, and then
Yeah.
rubber boots for the most part once we got a little closer, but we had them off at this part.
Yeah. We talk about the fighting, man, but what other, because you talk about the suit and everything else that you had to endure. What else were you what else, man, did you have to deal with while you guys were were there? Like you talk about, it was hot. I'm assuming it was
Right.
really hot.
It was definitely hot.
Yeah.
I mean, during the invasion, it was, I mean, you had to dig your hole every night to go to sleep. I mean, you're sleeping in their trench just in case they want to shoot indirect fire at you or anything like that. So you're digging your sleep on the whole march. You're outrunning your food supplies. Your food's getting less and less.
Yeah.
Hygiene's it's a
Non-existent.
baby wipe, man. It's a baby wipe, and yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
We're still wanting you to shave with like cold water. It was not because the gas mask wouldn't seal with the shave, just like
Yeah.
the fit test, you know,
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of thing. It won't seal, so
Yeah.
had to keep up with all that. Yeah, it was misery, man,
Yeah.
and compared to all those other tours, like it started getting like by the end, Iraq became like Club Med in some spots, man. They had
Really?
Burger Kings and Taco Bells.
Dude,
Yeah,
America is going to take American standards wherever we go.
we do, man. First order of business, get a Pizza Hut in this place, said some fat officer. Yeah, yeah, but
So you risk your life to clear out the place and
come
then they
back
bring
and all these dudes are freaking having pizza parties. We're like, screw you.
what did it feel like, man, being that in uncharted territory? I understand you kind of talk about it. You've talked about it, but like everywhere you went during this first tour, I'm assuming was uncharted territory. You guys were the first ones to break through.
Yeah, it was my first experience in the desert. I
You were
mean, that's for one. I mean, southern Iraq is just it's really just open, man. It's like driving through a desert version of Nebraska.
really
Or it's just
nothing.
nothing for forever until you start getting up by the cities, by the Sunni Triangle, all that. You got a few southern cities, but southern Iraq, I mean, it was long, boring. It was on the alert 24/7.
Yeah,
You know, we got a little contact in Nasiriyah, south, all that. But mostly, I mean, it was pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. I mean, it basically only took us about 21 days to get to Baghdad from the start of the war. So
yeah. 21 days straight. So you 21 days of marching, digging beds, shitting in holes.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know, I've talked to Vietnam War vets, and the odd thing, you know, some of them bring up the odd thing about Vietnam is sometimes you didn't know exactly who you were fighting. You know, you had landmines. We got introduced to the term, is it IED?
Yeah.
IED. Uh, how did that feel, man? Like you don't know who is the enemy. Like how do you know who you're fighting until they engage you?
Uh, yeah, it was a little, I'd say a little more clear cut, like who we thought it was going to be during the invasion. Like, but they all ditched. I mean, it was basically fighting the populace during the invasion. They'd be. I had a sergeant major. He used to call them black pajama motherfuckers. It was his word for them. And they'd be in like the black. They were mujahideen or whatnot, but they would Fidain fighters. But they'd be somewhat organized fighting with us. As tours go on, they started doing more isolated attacks, like snapshots, harass us basically. You know, make
Yeah,
us not want to go in certain areas. It's not worth it and all
yeah,
that. But during the invasion, it's as all of them, it was fighting the guerrilla, like it's insurgency. I mean, these guys on all of them could shoot at us from a crowd, drop whatever they had in the weapons, and disappear. And
and
you
you
don't
don't
know
even
the
know.
difference from
Yeah,
yeah, you don't know the
right.
difference. You
You could come right back around
come
you
right
and
back
just
around eating a freaking kebab.
yeah,
Yeah, you know, like
yeah,
you have no idea. So
yeah,
it's constant alert. You always had to be on. You could never get complacent.
yeah.
It's just enemy everywhere.
Do you so you guys you're on your way to Baghdad at this time, 21 days. What did it feel like to actually break through and you know, so what did it feel like cuz you went through the desert to get to Baghdad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we were on the outskirts, and artillery battery rolled in, and the day before we rolled into Baghdad, and they already got the withdrawals. Everybody evacuated that we thought was the good guys. So our artillery lit off on Baghdad. Like we're watching these artillery batteries just fire in and pretty much clear the way for us to do our job a little better, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, shock and all again right before, and then the next day we went in guns hot, and we took Saddam's palace initially, which was pretty freaking cool. You know, there's a bunch of pictures online about that, but
Re-
took Saddam's palace before we were hypered into word that Saddam was in a mosque down the street. We got intel on that,
oh,
so
shit.
we ran to that mosque and got in a huge firefight.
Really?
Huge, like all surrounded. It's coming down. We're in like basically downtown. You know, it's not our downtown high
Yeah,
rises, but
yeah.
it's 10-story buildings, 8-story buildings, enough for everybody to fire. And we were just in a shit sandwich going to this mosque, and we're all in these tracked vehicles, and they're just shooting down. And that's the first time I got my love for the air wing. All you air wingers out there, freaking we got close air support with an A-10 Warthog, and the plane just came down and just
White
took
them out.
out a bunch of our enemies. Took
Really?
about, yeah, made our clearing. We were able to establish a foothold into the mosque and secured after that. Thank God for the air support, though.
How long was that before air support got there for you guys?
It was we were in a good, I mean, matters of seconds feels like hours
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
that. So realistically, it was probably about 15, 20 minutes until we were really bogged down. Tracks were going out. We had to destroy one of our own tracks, which is an incendiary, because we don't want them to get anything in it, any weaponry
Yeah,
or anything like
yeah.
that. But yeah, probably about 15, 20 minutes.
What was the loss? Did you lose any friends or
We
did you?
we lost Gunny Boar, got one of the most hard ass awesome Marines I've ever met. He was doing a resupply on that day, and we're all in armored vehicles. He's in a freaking soft skinned Humvee, and freaking
Just heart.
just hard,
Pure
man.
heart,
Just trying to
man.
get his Marines freaking
Yeah.
ammo
And
and all
he's
that
back
stuff.
and forth, so
Back and
he's
forth,
by himself for
and he took one machine gun fire, and we lost him on that day.
wow,
So,
man. Wow. That's you probably gained a lot of friends, I'm assuming, going through boot camp, and now you have this commonality with these guys now. You're fighting alongside of them, man.
mhm.
I know you lost your lieutenant, but you lost some close buddies over there. What is like? What does that feel like, man? I know it's devastating, but like, how do you like the how do you go on?
It's kind of like in between of yeah, it starts with a lot of guilt, a lot of
Mhm.
grief. I mean, why not me? Why him?
Yeah,
Why me?
yeah,
You know, in different situations, not so much that one, but other ones you're like, because a lot of it just seems like a lot of some of the deaths, like on the third tour, some of those ones that happened out there was just luck of the draw, right place, right time. I mean, you could be the most fierce warrior, but it don't matter. You're dealing with high powered weapons where you can be taken down from wherever, and
yeah,
so it doesn't
yeah,
matter. It's loss can really comprehend, especially at the time in your life, but all you can do is freaking put on your face and go forward. You don't even during it, you don't even have the time to really process and take it in, because it's like go, go, go. You're on your
yeah,
next mission. I mean,
yeah.
if you're defeated in your head, you're defeated by the enemy already.
Yeah.
So
It's somebody like me, man, has never been in war or never experienced anything like that. What happens when you lose a guy? Like what do you take them away, or does somebody come and get them, or
yeah,
cuz
they, they, they come in and they get taken out just like a normal casevac, and then normally put on a plane back home. I mean, like you've seen all the pictures of the caskets draped
yeah,
in the flag. Same,
yeah,
yeah, just that way. But yeah,
yeah,
they're covered. They're moved just like a casevac.
yeah.
Nothing. Yeah,
I'm just wondering, like, is it all of this gets cleaned up after the battle, or like during you just got to keep moving?
you keep moving.
You
Yeah,
just got to keep going.
keep moving. But we don't leave anybody behind. I mean,
Yeah, right.
that's us through and
Yeah,
through. There was no bodies ever left behind in
yeah.
any engagement or anything I have.
Everybody in I got friends in Army, Navy, Air Force. and everybody tells me you guys are different, man.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little
you
different.
guys are different. Uh, first tour is coming to an end.
Well,
Why?
because we basically freaking
Why?
kicked down the fucking door, beat the shit out of the enemy, and I mean that's what Marines throughout history do. We're not an occupation force. That's always been the army. We don't go to places and occupy the land and help their. Our job is to freaking kick down the door, annihilate our enemy, and go back home until there's another door to kick down. But
So,
then they started breaching out into different things, and that's why our first tour was only 5 months as
okay.
opposed to the normal 7 months one. You know, we were there basically for the invasion, and then we came back. That was a rather quick turnaround.
Did you got to come back home?
Yeah, yeah. I came back home for another 7 months before second deployment.
You had a whole 7 months to decide that you possibly didn't want to go back.
No, no, I was still on contract, man.
Oh.
We're not deciding. No, there's no. I think I'm not gonna go. No, there was none of that. No.
Okay. Okay. What did it feel like, man? Going, you know what you just went through. You get a little taste of home and
Oh, it made home so much better. It
really,
made
yeah.
everything taste better. It made
Yeah.
every frickin' smell better. It made everything better. You appreciate home so much more when you go to a place like that, you know. And man, we got it good out here compared
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
out there, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, miss home. Yeah, it was good.
Second deployment.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Where you guys at, man? You did the unthinkable. You guys took Baghdad. You
Yep.
get to come home, second deployment. Where are you at now?
We are on the outskirts of Fallujah, in around that area, and our job was basically we were going on a lot of ambushes at night because they were hitting a lot of our firm bases with mortar tubes. They were shooting out the back of pickup trucks. They would drive around with the mortar tube in the back and just launch them blindly on the base, you know, harassing us, trying to kill anybody they basically can. Our job was a lot of that to go around. And that's when all this stuff started happening in Fallujah with the Blackwater guys. The Blackwater guys were on a protective service detail, and they were going through there, and they just got lit up. That's when the dudes got hung from the bridge out in Fallujah. It was like five Blackwater contractors got hung up on the bridge in Fallujah, and we had to answer back for that. And that's when Operation Vigilant Resolve, it was called,
Yeah.
started, and we started surrounding Fallujah.
I love your vocabulary when you said we had to answer back. Yeah, you gonna pay for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you
answer
gotta
back.
pay for this one.
Yeah.
And what was the answer back?
Yeah, the answer back was go in there. I mean, we basically surrounded the city, and we gave them a chance basically to have an exodus. Basically, we're coming in this city. We dropped planes, dropped pamphlets saying it's time to go out the city. War's coming to this city. If you're innocent, get out of here.
Yeah,
If you're down for a fight, let's fight.
yeah.
You know, and that's basically what happened. So there was mass exodus. We were controlling all the access points, seeing everybody getting out, and then we started regrouping, pretending we had it surrounded, started enveloping over Fallujah, and as we got closer, we got through the industrial area. My platoon was the first one sent out. Well, the second one sent out. The first patrol came back from Fallujah, no contact, no activity. Uh, the second one, however, we got put on, and I swear to God, it was just like an eerie feeling. You knew something was going to hit, and we're walking down this street and seeing a little movement on this, and all of a sudden, ba 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 ba, and freaking, we're getting heavy fire from 2 to 3 buildings across the street, and pretty heavy concentrated on us. So we fought back, we fought forward, held our ground. That's where I actually got my CERCOM from, certificate of accommodation, for they were all on a rooftop, like freaking, like basically right across the street from us, and this bad boy shoots on a trajectory. So
How far does that can you launch a
you
grenade?
go 6, like I want to say 8, maybe on the leaf site.
Yeah.
I don't. It's been a while. But I know a point target was 150, and everything was kind of gauged off that.
Yeah.
So first one I shot, I missed these dudes by probably about 100 yards. I went over there.
Oh, the practice round, right?
Yeah, but then freaking I went back reloaded, did a little old Kentucky windage, like way back, and that's when I plopped it right on those guys and they silenced. And then we got some vehicle support from our weapons platoon came in and with dump guns, and we just freaking started lighting up the enemy. And then it got quiet. We consolidated on the new line, and then all these. This is actually a pretty cool part. We had all these weird looking Humvees come in.
Yeah.
And it was like they had speakers on them, and we're like, "What is all this?" And all of a sudden it starts, and they're American. They're our military vehicles, and it starts yelling in Arabic out these speakers. Blah blah. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was saying, "Quit hiding behind women and children. Come out and fight like men." And it must have pissed them off because freaking next thing you know, they're shooting at us, and it was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, soon as they started firing, those vehicles that worked with PSYOPs were like, we did our job. We drew out the enemy, and the speaking turned off. And I'm not gonna lie, they started blasting AC/DC. It's like, what is this really happening? You're like, bah, 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 you're getting shot. You're like, is this a movie? No, but it was motivating. It was wild.
So that's what you call it, psyops, like
Yeah, those were PSYOPs. It
Yeah.
was like they would come out with the speakers and play some weird, like breaking music, like just to mess with the enemy, like weird sounds, like cats screaming, and it would just project through the city. And
Really?
yeah, it was a cool little tool that we had.
That's crazy. I never heard of nothing like this before, man. So these guys would get pissed off and they would show
Yeah,
themselves.
they showed themselves. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys go through that. How long was that tour?
That one was 7 months. I mean, we were only there after that firefight, probably only another month or two, because we ended up, Congress thought they could fight a war from their chairs,
Yeah.
So they were telling us we couldn't attack mosque, we couldn't do anything like that. It's a holy site. But one of our Marines got killed by a sniper that shot out of a mosque, knocked one of ours down. So our I want to say it was Lieutenant Heisman. If you're watching, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. He called in the airstrike and called in a J dam on this minaret, blew the fuck out of that mosque, and whoever was in there that shot at our guy. So it was game over. After that, they decided a political ceasefire us, and they withdrew us from Fallujah, and that's when Phantom Fury had to start in November, about 2 months later.
Yeah, because you weren't there. You can't tell me coach from hundreds of thousands of miles away and tell me what I can and can't do, and you weren't there being shot at and having your partners killed. And
Right.
Yeah.
Go out, kill that enemy, but do it with kindness.
Yeah, no, man. We already animals at this point. You
The way to beat the
Yeah.
savage is be more savage, man. That's it.
Right. The scary part, man, and I imagine is you talked about an exodus and you have to, gently let these people go. But dude, if I were your enemy,
Oh yeah.
I would hide because there's no rules to this war.
Oh, there wasn't, and
Yeah.
and the ones that wanted to fight, I'm sure plenty fled to fight another day. They may have seen their numbers, they're
Yeah.
outnumbered. This is losing, but a lot of them stayed. But they would pop up everywhere, and after that tour, I mean, that tour, what happened in Fallujah was the last I saw of force on force contact. After that, everything on the end of that tour and on my third tour was basically fighting a ghost.
Yeah.
Someone that just disappears.
Yeah. You made a quote and I think it was on your third tour. You said I'm 20 years old, and I've seen more uh, in my 20 years than, or in the last year, than a 40-year-old has seen his whole life.
Mhm.
Was that was you? USA Today did an
Yeah.
article on you. Uh, what did you mean by that? I mean, I could kind of imagine, but
Well, you know, like shit. I was 22. I saw things and dealt with situations and stress and just every different animal you could imagine that people could go their whole life and not endure
yeah,
that amount.
yeah,
And that's basically what I felt about that. You know, it's like I hope my kids go their whole life without seeing it. You know, like you
eh,
don't want any stress on any level. We all got different stresses. We all got
yeah,
different shit that goes through, and
right,
I just hope it ain't as heavy as that was.
yeah,
By the time they're 22, that's
yeah.
just a lot to shoulder.
Man, we all go through life, man, and you hear the saying, life isn't fair. But bro, it's really not fair when you don't even know who you're fighting. You said like, every like it was ghost after that. Like you didn't know you were walking, those guys walking around, man, IEDs laying around, people you were already been shot at from buildings, but people just popping up. You walking in cities that you think are unoccupied, people popping up, shooting
Mhm.
at you. Uh on a day to day, man. Like because you don't know, the next day, you don't know if you're gonna live the next hour, man.
Nope.
What is did you and you have time, I assume, to think about it now, because you're not in active war to where you got to keep moving now, man. We just walking, walking, walking.
Well,
What is that? What do you concentrate on to keep going?
it weighs on you.
Yeah,
It's like an everyday weight. Like we just say, like if it's too much, you can go get 3 hots and a cot. You can go back to the rear for a little bit, get a little R&R. You know, get if you're not right. And some guys did that. Uh, my third tour, believe me, before every patrol outside that wire with what we were dealing with, I hated it. I could have went for
yeah,
3 hots and a cot.
yeah,
I was fucking. I thought every time I walked out that wire was going to be the last, and then you just got to accept it.
yeah,
You know, because you can't keep thinking like that because it's gonna drive you nuts.
yeah.
You basically, and that's another thing. I was 22 years old. I accepted death, you know, and that's what's kind of hard to come back to when you're transitioning and everything. It's like I accepted it. And everything after coming back from there is bonus time.
Did it make it a little bit easier after you just accepted that, hey, man, this might be my last time out?
It did, but it didn't. I mean, to say that I wasn't freaking scared for me or my men every time we went outside that wire would,
Yeah,
would be a freaking lie. I mean,
yeah.
my goal was to bring everybody back. I had a billet. I was in charge of guys, and my goal was to bring these guys back at all
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah, and that's another like I talk about me or I, but the way you guys function, man, it's a we.
Yep.
It's you got to think about it's probably hard. I mean, if you die, you gone. But
Right.
if you lose a guy, you got to deal with that.
Yep.
You got to deal with like you said, if what could I have done different? Uh hey man. Oh man, look, dude, I'm such a softy, man. You did everything you could do. You guys went over there, man. You were brave. Uh, my heart goes out to you, man, and you did everything that you could do. I know, possibly. You guys put it all on the line, man. You guys put it all on the line. Uh, third tour. Is that when did the reporters start following?
in in around July of my last tour,
Okay.
and that was actually yeah, cause I was on my 3rd tour and a lot of guys were stop loss or what's called, so all the guys I went on my 1st tour with were all leaving pretty much 3/4 or halfway into my last deployment, so at the end, I was the last 3rd timer in my whole platoon. I was the last guy that was there for 3 tours, and
Yeah.
it was like a running joke, "Don't get in the truck with me," and all that other shit. My
Yeah.
lights ran out, I was the last guy left. So I was last.
Man, that probably got real dark, man.
Oh, it got real dark, man.
So-
We got real dark. It didn't matter. Yeah. They'd open the door. They'd be like, "Damn it, Welter! Damn it!" Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Cause dude, when you know, like ironworking, man, like we work a dangerous job, and it's a dark humor that goes because anything can happen. But I imagine, bro, like with the thought in your head that we could die any day, it becomes a joke.
Oh,
Almost.
it's
Yeah,
just constantly a joke.
yeah.
Dude. Yeah, constantly.
Don't get in a Humvee with him.
Right. And believe me, that's like the PG of all of it. It gets worse than that,
Yeah,
too.
right.
So yeah.
I bet, man. I bet, but you got to find some way to cope. You got to find some way to deal with
Oh, it's
things.
so dark.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so dark.
Can you? So you were telling me the miracle warfare, the documentary that happened.
Oh,
Can
so
you tell us some of the stories, man, that happened? I mean, because I looking at the documentary, if you guys haven't seen it, man, I would say look it up. Is it on YouTube?
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Check it out, man, because it's some crazy stuff happened. Can you tell us some of the
Well, the craziest and the craziest one was during that long firefight when I told you we were all surrounded.
Yeah.
A rocket, somebody shot an RPG at our vehicle, and the RPG ended up hitting the Marine that was right next to me in the head. A rocket in the head. That rocket was a dud.
Did he?
Oh no, I wouldn't be here if that shit blew up. Yeah,
I mean,
no.
but he was okay.
Yeah. Yep. He ended up freaking doing a re-enlisting even after. So yeah. It ripped
Y'all crazy, man. Look, you guys are brave, but man, y'all crazy, man. That's wild. Are you serious?
He got hit right. It doinked off his head and went into the track, and one of the guys burnt his hand, threw it out. It never detonated. And then, yeah, that was wild. Right next to me, dude. And I was like, did that? Yeah, that was one of those like times stood still. Like, did that really just freaking happen? And
Wow.
same freaking within the sequence. I don't know if this RPG gunner was having bad luck or we were having good luck because another one was coming right at us, and there was like a 1-inch conduit. Like, dude, their plumbing and lighting out there is garbage. It was it was going way up like 20 feet, man. This rocket hit this 1-inch pipe and it would have hit us all, man. And it freaking blew up on this 1-inch freaking pipe. And
Wow.
yeah, had a dude get shot. Well, Colin, if you're watching, Colin, one of our other miracles was he was in the prone position getting security, and he ended up getting shot by what we call the world's worst sniper because Colin's got a gigantic head. So, his head's so big, and it missed, and it went right through his helmet, the side of his helmet, and went through his shoulder. And yeah, so luckily, the world's worst sniper missed about a freaking 3-foot by 5-foot freaking target.
Said 3x5 head.
But
Now,
yeah.
now, I think I saw that clip, man, and it went through his shoulder, but they were on the documentary. They were saying like around like that.
Oh, that was Ellis. Ellis got ripped. So he got hit by the fins. The rocket head didn't hit him. The fins. So like the explosive part missed him, and the fins ripped his freaking arm. And if you saw any of those pictures, they're pretty freaking gruesome of all his freaking tendons and everything. Freaking.
But he was alive.
Well.
And then one that I saw is the sniper round. I think that's the first story you said you were talking about. The sniper round did hit him in the head, and they were saying like if this sniper round even got close to your head, man, they put a watermelon inside of his helmet, and it just blew up.
Yeah, that was one of our guys in the turret, and it actually went because just like our hard hats, the suspension, that gap in there, it went through the gap. Or it hit the gap and hit the turret behind them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But even going through there, man, just the force of it should have.
I'm sure there was freaking some marks and some heat.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, man. Miracles, man. Miracles, man. You know who the good guys were.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah, man. Miracles happening. And that was second tour.
That was second tour.
That was second tour. You kind of hinted on third tour. Bring me to you like your last couple weeks, man, couple days. Like because it's like I've made it this far. Was it like an extra anxiety? Like
yeah, Ramadi of all 3 tours Ramadi, I hated Ramadi because it was just talk about, I mean, like if you read Art of War or even War Fighting by Marines, I mean, one of the top lessons of warfare or problems with warfare that you deal with is uncertainty.
Yeah.
And the everyday uncertainty of not knowing where your enemy. I mean, you could walk around, everything could be freaking fine and dandy, and then the next day, all hell could break loose, you know? So you have to go out, you got to maintain that thought for 7 months every day in and out. I mean, we had signs all over. As you leave the compound, it would say complacency kills.
I saw some of those,
Yeah.
in the documentary.
Yeah, complacency
Yeah.
kills because the second you think you're back on the block and everything's freaking fine and dandy and you got a wrap on everything, you know?
Psychologically, man, that can play a toll on you because if you were in active war every day, you're on your toes. But like you said, like you got these dead periods, man, and it can cause you just human nature to be complacent. To well, nothing's happened. I mean, you probably don't say it in your head, but just as human beings, like if nothing's happening
Right.
every day, you're not on your toes, man. You're not
No.
ready for when it does happen.
No, and that's why it's always a joke, you know. You pack for a day mission like it's a 2-day mission because you never know what can go wrong. I'm just going out for a little patrol, and next thing you know, 3 hours, 4 hours later, you know, you're freaking out. They push you out fire, or you're in contact and you're bogged down for 2 days. You got no food or water or anything. So you always got to freaking think Murphy's Law, what worst can happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you always gotta have that, unfortunately, negative freaking outlook, you
Yeah.
know, but that's what keeps you alive and keeps you on your toes. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Your last day. Do you remember your last day?
My last day, we were doing a changeover, uh, and man, I could not wait to leave that place. And it was like it was the worst changeover on the planet. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. We had vehicles stuck on medians. It just was ugly and pretty much described everything that Ramadi was
Yeah.
out there. And but then freaking leaving that place was the best feeling I had. And
Really?
I was done. No.
Were you guys when you left, did you leave some of your buddies that you came in with? Did you or you guys left together?
We all left together. Everybody we deploy within companies or battalions. So our whole battalion. So you're with those guys the whole time. I mean, whether you get like what happened on the third tour, a lot of guys were getting out mid deployment. They extended a little bit to only do half the deployment. They left, and they left me behind. But no, we totally partied with everybody that we came with at the end of our deployments.
That had to be a good feeling. And I'm sure that at the beginning I said all gave some and some gave it all.
Yeah, I
I'm
lost a lot
sure.
on that one.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. How many do you think that you lost, like people that you were in contact with, that you knew that you
the whole time.
well
I mean, the whole time. I mean, it's roughly it was 19,
wow.
and that's what every point on that tattoo stands for.
Wow.
Are the ones, but other than that, yeah, it's the last one. That's what sucked the most because it was just something that, I mean, they killed all 5 guys with 1 set of IEDs. They didn't even give those guys a fighting chance, you know.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
Coming back home, I'm not gonna take you through no more of that.
nah,
Man.
you're good. You're good.
I'm sorry, man. And I hate that you even have to revisit that, man, but the story is so important. Coming back home, I remember meeting you in apprenticeship school, and you just had this look in your eye, man. Uh, and a lot of times people don't talk about it. You know, we send you train. They trained you guys, man. Basically, be animals, man. You had to.
Well,
What's your transition back home, man?
really.
What's your transition? What's your thought? Do you get help or do you seek it? Do you even know to get help? Do you know the condition that you're in? I was in war, and now I'm expected to be just this regular guy, get a job, go to work. What was your transition, man? coming back home?
It was it was hell.
Yeah.
It was just the normalcy, you know. I had a lot of angst, a lot of hatred. Basically, for everybody walking around, just like it wasn't even their fault, just enjoying the the way everything was, fighting off basically our backs. Like I came back a little angry at first, put it that way,
Yeah.
but you know what? And then I started, as I got a little older, the ignorance and their ability to go to the mall and be happy and live their lives here was what we went over there for.
Yeah.
I'd rather them be ignorant now that I've gotten older, and I want them to have no idea what's going on, just know we're taking care of business, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they don't have to live with that. Because I like to say it this way, the whole time we were out there, man, and I was out there in all those years, and there wasn't any terrorist attacks on our soil during that
Yeah.
time. They were like, we'll go over on our own soil and fight these guys and
Yeah.
kill some of them instead of come back here. So that's one of my biggest pullaways from all that.
That's a brave statement, man. You know what I mean? I put myself on the line so you guys can come act a fool and
Mhm.
have your thoughts, and that's a very brave statement, bro.
Well, there's an old saying. I mean, it's Marines go to war, America goes to the mall. Yeah, but
Right.
that's what it's for at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it's for.
You had this when I met you. You had this look in your eye, like it was kind of scary, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was.
I was lost.
I don't want to hurt anybody, but I will. Our first year, I remember our first year, man. Joe, anybody that don't know Joe, you're a freaking idiot, man. I love you.
Well,
Your brother Joe.
yeah, love you,
Your brother.
Joe.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
Joe is
Oh God, there he is.
that's
There he is.
that's Joe Welter, man. Joe was out in the parking lot in apprenticeship school doing what ironworkers do.
Uh-huh.
Get-
Every day.
get- Getting drunk.
Uh-huh.
And he came back in and he started messing with me. Like, and I was like, Joe, freaking leave me alone, man. Like, and I was about to let him have it. He was drunk, and you said quietly, it was like a quiet, it was scary. You said, Ron, just let him be. I said, no, man, forget that, bro. Like this dude come in, man. He was like pushing me. He kept like I kept trying to walk away from him. He kept pushing me. You were like, you said, leave him alone, Ron, because if you do something to him, that's my brother, and I'm gonna have to jump in. I was like, you got it, bro. I'm gonna I'm gonna remove myself and go over here because the look in your eye, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really trying to fool with it. You could tell, man, you were carrying something heavy, man. And I see and I understand, like, even when I first started this whole thing, you might not have been able to talk about everything.
Well,
And it's good to see you better
well.
better. What's the for somebody that's sitting out there, man, that's been through some things, that's been through some of this, and they don't know how to deal. Can you tell them? Can you have any advice for them? You've been to war, you whatever, man. It's been a lot going on in the world, man.
I mean, for veterans, I mean, the best thing you can do is find brotherhood, and with the Marine Vets Motorcycle Club, that's what I found. I mean, those are my
Yeah,
brothers. I'd live and die for them, just
yeah,
like I would anybody that I was
yeah,
in the shit with,
yeah, yeah,
And that's you gotta find something to bite on always. You gotta find something that you care and you're passionate about. And between the motorcycle club and the union, I mean, those are two things I can really bite on and be passionate about because idle hands dealt playground. You don't want to be
yeah,
alone with your thoughts. So like I gotta move like
yeah,
24/7. Or
yeah.
you've always seen me. I'm like ping
Yeah,
ping ping.
always working, doing
I'm always
something, man.
moving.
Yeah, always doing something active in the union. I wish I had those pictures, man. I didn't even
Mhm.
think to grab the ones, but it's with your motorcycle club. But it's great, man. All those guys that I seen in all those pictures, man. Thank you for your sacrifice, man. Some of you guys walked into hell and came back. And if nobody else, man, tells you that we appreciate you, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing everything that you did. Thank you for your sacrifice, man. All your partners, man. Again, I can't say it enough. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. You literally y'all stood at the gates of hell, man, so that we didn't have to. Like you said, it was no attacks while you guys were over there fighting because you had them occupied. Yeah, some of them you occupied them to the point where they ain't doing nothing now.
Yeah, occupied them to death.
Right,
Yeah.
occupied them to death. Occupied them to death. A lot of people don't make the connection, man, that, they say, oh, you fought for the country. There's so many people, man, that I don't know. People are fucked up, man. So like, they don't see the connection. But here's the connection. If you don't know the connection, while you guys were over there fighting, none of that went on. Nobody was flying planes into buildings or blowing up anything in malls, and because y'all had them occupied. Thank you for your occupation.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, but that's at the same time. I mean, people like coming up to us, asking politics on what we thought about the war. By the time I was there, I didn't give a shit. All I cared about is this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Or, what it was us versus the freaking world for all I cared.
Yeah.
It was these guys are my concern.
Yeah, you had a mission. And I hear that a lot, man. People want to bring a lot of vets into the politics of it, and war is war, man. Ain't no politics when you got a gun in your face, bro. No, it's none of that, man. You didn't have time to think about that because I'm fighting so you can talk about politics.
Right. Talk whatever the hell you
Right.
want.
Right. I don't care what you believe, man. Just believe this.
Right.
One of the things that you did, man, when you came back, and I was happy for you and I was there for you. You became a fighter.
Oh, shit.
Was that one of your outlets, bro? That's one of the rawest pictures.
Man, I look good, bro.
That is
Wow. Bring that back. Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
You started doing, bro. I got to give it to you for that, man, because MMA. I thought that maybe I might. I was like, shoot, man, Jimmy fighting. Man, that looks fun. I saw a dude going to your fight, and I'm gonna let you talk about your career. It was short lived, but you still, man, I got to give it to you. While I was at your fight, I think it was after you had fought, after you put this dude down. That was a great picture. If you guys didn't see, matter of fact, I want to go back because maybe people didn't see the dude laying in the background. That was a raw shot, man. This dude's feet are in the air and he ain't getting up, and you sitting there screaming. And I think the referee is holding up. He's done. He ain't getting up.
Yep.
He ain't getting up. But I think it was after you fought, you had me riled up. Like, man, I think I might try to do this, dude. It was this black dude and this Irish dude. And the black dude was giving me hope. I was like, oh man, he was giving it to this dude.
Oh man.
And he stepped back for 2 seconds. Because it was, MMA is tiring, man. Like you could see they were both winded. He stepped back for 2 seconds, man. And this dude roundhoused him in his head.
Yeah.
And knocked him cold out. This dude was out. The worst thing was his girl was there and she just looked at him and shook her head.
Yeah.
They carried this dude out on the stretcher and they left his gloves on, man. I don't even know why they didn't take his gloves off. They had him halfway out the door and my man popped up.
Where am I?
This girl took him. She put her hand on his head and just pushed him back down on the gurney like, no, baby, you done. I said, man, he might as well dump her. He not ever getting no respect after that.
Never. Yeah.
What was that an outlet for you, man, fighting? Because you kind of did. What were we, first year, second year?
Yeah, around that.
So you were about what, 24, 25?
No, I was 27 actually.
27.
Yeah, so we were third or fourth year. Yeah, I loved it, man. It was my fix after, like how I said, you got to find. It was before I found all the brotherhood and all that stuff. Violence was my first outlet. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed training. I enjoyed fighting. I enjoyed getting punched in the face. I enjoyed punching people in the face. It was a good time, but you got a lot of anger, and that's what it bite on. But I mean, I was a maniac. I was going freaking to the gym 2 times a day, freaking in the morning after work, and I had newborns, so I did 3, won all 3, and then I was like, then I had another kid on the way and couldn't really do it anymore.
Yeah, but you came out a winner.
Yeah, 3-0, baby.
3-0, 3-0, man. Jimmy,
Undefeated.
career fighter, 3-0.
Undefeated.
I think I saw all 3 of them too, man. I followed you around just because I always had a love for you, man, because you were always like, Just straight up. You were always straight up, man. You told her how it was. You didn't care. And I appreciate the truth. However, it's delivered at times.
I don't deliver it nicely all the time. Yeah, but I mean it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was an outlet, man. Not too long after that, hey, let's bring up a picture of you we had one picture of you as an iron worker. This is another picture of you.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Braving the cold.
Oh yeah, we've all been there, man.
Yeah.
We've all been
Oh
there.
yeah.
Blood money, man.
Man, blood money.
Blood money. Like, why am I here? It's only 7:30. It's only 7:30 in the morning. I'm miserable and hating life already.
I question my life choices.
All the time, man.
In summertime, it's great. You're like, oh man, this is great. I love iron working. And then
Yeah.
as soon as like November, December hit, you're like, why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? Why? And why in Chicago? Why?
Right,
Money's
yeah.
good. That's
Right. Right.
Mhm.
What was your love for ironworking? You gotta have a love for it, man. We've been doing this for 20 years now. And
I mean, I loved it, man. I'll be honest, like I didn't get in like my brother was always like, I'm gonna be an iron worker. I mean, like hence his voice. I think he was eating metal at a freaking young age. But freaking like he always like me, I wasn't really sure. Like I got a Marine Corps and how it went down was I came home after getting out of the Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and my dad every morning would wake me up after I got off. Like I got out of the Marine Corps like 2 days prior. He's like, get a job. I'm like, dude, I just had a
I
job.
was killing people like a week ago, man.
Technically, I'm still employed. I'm on a freaking like terminal leave. So
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I went in. I got out in May. I went in on June, and it just so happened Helmet to Hard Hats was going, and I
Yeah.
got in the program with all you jokers. Best class ever.
Man, best class ever, man. We had some characters.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that's an iron worker that's watching, man, and you know Bo Heidi. Bo Heidi is the calmest, most mildest person ever, and somehow we made him lose it.
Yeah.
I think it was Joe.
Joe
It
and
was
Guy.
Joe and Guy.
Uh-huh.
Joe and Guy, man, he lost it on us. And I was always the guy. I was like, man, come on, guys, just keep the peace. And no, it wasn't. It wasn't that. I love it too, man. I love it. I love it because of you found the camaraderie. I found the camaraderie, man. I love it because of you guys. You guys knew me before I started cursing.
Well, yeah, man. Dude, yeah, and thinking of, dude, you know what? To his death, Dave was wearing the mother sucker shirt. So, like, not like, dude, all the time I would be like, oh, you still got that shirt? He's like, mother sucker, bro. I got my mother sucker shirt.
No, I did not know that, and I'm so happy that you said. Shout out to my man Dave Conjin, man. Rest in
God
peace,
rest,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace to him, man. What an incredible dude, man.
Oh,
And that's the
great.
camaraderie that we talk
Yeah,
about, man.
that's the love, man.
Yeah.
I met another brother who, when I got through the growing pains of what I went through during apprenticeship or not knowing how I feel and really bogged down on what the union was. I mean, I found my brotherhood there too, man.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's given me everything in my life, being a fourth generation, literally.
Yeah.
Literally
Because your
everything.
dad, your dad passed, but I
Yeah.
got to meet Shoes, man. And
Wow.
he was a great dude, man. I heard he was a little bit more milder in his older age.
Yeah, but I heard stories. There's some stories I didn't want to hear, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a thing, dude. So I'm telling, you know, Cersei.
Yeah.
I'm telling Javon a story about Cersei. Javon is Cersei's son, and I'm telling this story, not realizing that I wasn't putting two and two together. And he laughed, and he was like, "Oh man, who did that?" And I was like, "Oh,
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
that was your father."
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Don't worry about it.
Dudes start telling you a story about certain people, and then they realize halfway through it's not too good story to tell you. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't tell you this. Now you gotta tell me because now I need to know. Thanks.
On the milder side,
Yeah.
you know, you might hear some stories about fashion shows, guys going to
Yeah.
to fashion shows. If you don't know what a fashion
God.
show is, you are a construction worker, just look it up, man. I
Oh,
don't even,
good time.
I don't even want to tell you, bro. It was such a culture shock coming into this because I didn't know people like this. I didn't know people that drank while they drove.
Well,
Heard of-
yeah.
I heard of drinking and driving. Uh, and I guess I could tell it now, man, because Al was my guy. But dude, Al was my first break-in to that. I was, dude, first of all, when I started my first job, I was taking the train. I was working right downtown Chicago, man. I was working on right off of Roosevelt. Roosevelt and I forget. It's Roosevelt. It was right off of Roosevelt in Michigan, just to the east of Roosevelt, or just to the east of Michigan. And so the train was right there. I was taking the train, and so I met Al. Al was one of the first guys that I met, and he, your uncle, just real slick with the mouth, man.
Oh yeah.
And he said, "Kid, they call us Kid Punk, whatever, man. Kid, what how you getting here every day?" He found out I lived in Indiana. He said, "How you getting here every day?" I said, "Oh, I'm taking the train." He said, "All right, I'll meet you at this parking lot at this time." I was like, "Dude, I said I was taking the train," and he said, "Yeah, okay, just at 6:30, I'll be there." And dude, they fucked with me every day.
I don't know. I would
Because
be unable to do it.
Tim started. I was riding with Al, and my first break-in with Al was we go to work on our way home back to my car. This is my first time ever experiencing this. He said, "Kid, reach in the back seat in the lunchbox and pass me a pop."
You're looking.
I turned around and opened the box, and I said, "Man, ain't no pop in here." I said, it's all beer in here. He said, "Yeah, give me a beer, stupid." I said, "First of all, dude, why do I have to endure this abuse? Why do I have to be stupid? Like, why did I even choose to ride with you?" And I've never seen anybody. And dude, I mean, man, straight as an arrow, he drove. Like,
Oh yeah.
he drove. I felt safer with him than I felt.
Yeah.
Oh God, Al,
Professional.
I love you. If you're watching this, man, I got mad
Professional.
respect to you. Al taught me so much, and then Tim came.
And
And
then Tim came, and he just likes to poke.
Poke.
Yeah.
Dude, every day Tim had a stick shift. He had a pickup truck, and it was a stick shift. And you imagine it's three of us.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So here I am.
Yeah, right. He's doing that yeah. Good times.
Here I am. Good times, man. I got love for them cats, man. They taught me a lot. Al was the first one that told me that I didn't work for this company that I work for. I work for Local 63.
Oh yeah.
uh, and just the camaraderie, the people I met. I probably hated most of them during my first 4 years because I didn't understand, and then I realized that I got broken the right way, and I don't hate them now as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate this thing, man. I appreciate it. I'm able to provide for a family. And speaking of family, you are a father.
Yeah.
And so how old were you when you had your first child?
27. Shit. 20, 27.
27.
Mhm.
And you would go overseas and fight a whole war and come back and produce only girls.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Because God knows.
yeah. I got low key. I lost it all out there. I guess I don't know. Yeah, that's the punishment. Yeah,
Right.
but it's weird. Like I went to a reunion not too long ago,
Yeah.
and there was like 12 of us, and out of the 12 of us, there was like of all the kids, there was like 19 girls and like 2 boys. And I'm like, what did they give us, man? Like, yeah, that wasn't yellow fever. That was no boy fever
Right.
or some shit. I don't know.
Because God knows he looked at all the uncles and all the Welters and said, "You know what, man? Oh,
We don't need no more.
we're gonna keep this bloodline going, but it's a lot of testosterone that's going around. Let's give them some girls." What did it feel like, man? Again, man, you bringing all these experiences, and now you have to be calm and raise a family. Did that help kind of calm you down and kind of bring you back a little bit?
It did and it didn't. I mean, I kind of still lost it. I was kind of freaking all over the place.
Yeah,
Still couldn't find my footing in life,
yeah,
ups and downs all around.
yeah,
Freaking made mistakes here, there, and yeah, it was. I wish I could have said it grounded me, but at the time of my life, it kind of just made me a maniac, in a way, kind of like I was like, this is life, this is home,
yeah.
this is that suburban freaking status quo. It's like I'm not made for this shit.
Right.
Yeah, freaking. Yeah.
I think all of us, man, because I was a little like having kids, man. I had them early too, but you know, as they get older. Like you, just a scary thing, man.
Us.
You know, yeah, you are kind of because there's no handbook on this thing.
Yeah.
And now your daughters are getting a little bit older
Yeah.
and
More expensive every year they owe.
more expensive. Are they dating yet?
My 14-year-old, so to speak, is whatever the hell they call it. But yeah. He's a nice kid. Yeah.
Oh, he is. He's a nice kid.
Yeah, he's a nice kid.
Okay. Okay. What?
But yeah, the other one's not even thinking about it yet.
Really? How do you? How does that feel, man? To like you got girls and uh
It's horrifying. It's horrifying because
yeah.
I was a 14-year-old boy.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
And I wasn't the best 14-year-old boy.
Oh God. Not the best is not exactly how you
Yeah,
should describe it.
yeah, I was very bad.
I've heard stories and jokes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, man, it's my girls are older now. They're grown and so mine are 20. So I imagine you going through something that I've already been through.
Yeah.
Daughters really didn't date, man, or at least they didn't tell
They
me
didn't
they
tell you.
were. Yeah.
I find out
They
by
didn't-
default. I find out like 2 years later.
Right.
They don't tell me nothing.
Right. Yeah, you
It's when it's time for me to know. I'm
yeah,
on
right.
the outside.
Right. Maybe that's the best.
Yeah, I'm okay
Maybe
with
that's
it.
the best, man. And now, you know, as we get because we already been going for almost an hour and a half already, man.
man.
As we go to start shutting down, you are at a brand new point in your life, man, where you kind of set the tools down, and you are going to be an organizer. You are an organizer now.
Mhm.
Can you anybody that doesn't know about union ironwork or union period, man, can you explain to them a little bit what's your duties now?
My duties right now are basically going out there trying to find contractors, trying to get them to sign with us. If not, we'll take your best guys, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't do it anymore. So
Yeah.
so we'll organize your best guys, make us stronger. I'm also dealing with an area on the south side, going to jobs, dealing with issues, day-to-day issues that happen on sites, doing just different going with Fletch to some of these political functions, which
Yeah.
Fletch, God love you.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
how you do it?
Right.
I'm getting better though. I can get along with everybody. It's
Yeah.
but I'll tell you what, it's definitely getting used to it. It's a big adaptive thing versus swinging the hammer and.
Yeah.
But what I like and my favorite freaking part, and it's like cliche or whatever, but it's like I don't work for a company anymore. I work for my brothers.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's like the best feeling. Like
Yeah.
I'm always like the best. I don't. My job is. I mean, I always wanted to make the contractors money because that's how we do it.
Right.
That's how we share our business. We're never trying to fuck anybody with work. If you're not making the contractor money, you need to go.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I get to frickin' you know, you work for Mecor, I work for KK, we work for all these good outfits.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to work for these good outfits.
Yeah. Right.
There's some bad
Oh,
freaking outfits,
yeah, I bet,
man.
man.
And it's like
Yeah, I bet.
making sure our guys get a fair shake and
Mm.
unfortunately, even at times dealing with our members that aren't living up to our standard
Yeah,
at the same freaking point.
Yeah,
You know?
man. I
So
gotta pay my
it's
dues. So speaking of which,
yeah, pay your dues, everybody.
yeah,
Pay your dues.
yeah, it's dealing with that, and you know, I guess that's the right mindset to have, man. Because when I first heard you were going into this, I was like, man, I wonder how Jimmy gonna fare. Because, dude, again, like dealing with politicians and dealing with the political side, you probably want to knock people out. But if you keep in mind that, okay, man, I can't do that because I'm working for my brothers.
Nope.
But I know it's got to get hard sometimes, man. Like looking at, I know this dude is lying to me.
Oh, they all lie.
Yeah.
It's even, you know, it's but at the same time, a lot of them benefit us on certain things, you know,
Yeah.
park districts, stuff like that. I mean, excuse me,
Yeah.
our crew up there, I mean, they've been doing a pretty damn good job for the last freaking few years,
Yeah.
creating a freaking market share and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
and making those political connections, which is the way that everything freaking goes right now. That's the way to get things turned, get more freaking jobs, get our eyes, get local 63 on the freaking map and grow. I mean, our level of being well known is freaking catapulted.
Yeah.
I mean, nationwide we're
Yeah,
well
man.
known. So
Yeah, 63 is a special. It's different.
oh yeah,
It's different. You know, we deal with anybody that doesn't know, man. We deal with finishing metals.
Mhm.
We deal with windows. It's a whole story behind it. But a lot of the skyscrapers that you see in Chicago, man, we did the finishing. We did the curtain wall, they call it, on these skyscrapers. We did the stairs inside. When people ask, like, well, what do you do? Like, can you describe? I tell them we did the beam.
the bean.
Yeah, we did.
We did the bean.
Local 63, we did the bean, man. I didn't work on it personally, but
Architectural, ornamental. If it looks pretty and
yeah.
it's iron and it's shiny, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We
Yeah,
did.
we deal with finishing metals, man, and it's a hard job, man. And you like, dude, I tell people I've cried on this show before. I said because I feel like a man, I work a manly job, so I can cry if I want
Right.
to. Right?
You tell me, you pick up this hammer.
Right. You
and
go
tell me I
outside.
can cry.
Right. You go outside in 2 degrees.
It's freaking blood.
Right. Right. But yeah, man, I out of everything, man, I want to thank you, man, and I want to all again, man, all those Marines out there, man, that gave everything they had, man. I honor you guys, and I know a lot of us do, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, man, for the sacrifice that you made. Thank you for being a union guy, man, for standing up for us. You know, when we're at work, you out there doing your thing. And I hope to see you as a BA one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, moving up the ladder, business manager, whatever you want to strive for, man. At some point in time, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah, I'm way down.
Yeah, maybe international, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Whoa.
One step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, man. Everybody in the office working hard, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for working hard and doing your thing. All the iron workers out there, man, that's risking your lives for your families every day. We really do risk our lives, man. No telling what can happen on some days, man. I've seen some nasty things almost happen.
Right.
And sometimes I've seen some things happen, man. You know, you can lose limbs. There's been iron workers, it's at least every year, man. Somebody loses their life, you know. It's a dangerous gig, man. It's not easy. And I want to give honor to all you guys out there, man, that's watching. Appreciate you. Thank you for working alongside of me and making sure the person beside you is safe. Jimmy, man, love,
bro.
man. Love, bro. I want to run through these pictures again, man, just so you know who you're dealing with, man. You're dealing with a beast over here. You guys, man, this dude is just an awesome guy, man. So much life experience, man, and I appreciate you. Hey guys, once again, man, this is the V&O. We are ordinary people with extraordinary stories, man. Go and play this one back, man. This dude has an extraordinary story. If you didn't get to watch the whole thing, go back and check it out, man. This dude is a hero. He's a hero, and thank you to all those other heroes out there. V&O, what you know, man. We are ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Why not post what clip? You talking about
I'd like to welcome y'all to the fabulous Carolina West. I own it.
that one? Oh man, I posted that one, man, because that's who I am, man. People want to know the real, man. I'm stupid. Do things like act like I'm talking on the phone when I'm really not.
Mic check 1 2, it's the vibe you're missing. Views and opinions, tune in, pay attention. Heavy bass drops, heartbeats, ignition. Spit raw truths, no cap, no permission. Views and opinions where the real meets the talk. We grind in the trenches, then stroll on the walk. Bounce to the rhythm, let the wisdom unlock. Podcast, fire, TikTok, non-stop. Truth be the green, we plant in the crop. Water with facts, no fake, we won't stop. Echoes rumble deep underground from the top. Blueprint conversations, call it Thoughts Workshop.